Hello, Jackie.
Hi,
How are you today?
I'm fine.
That's good. That's good. Have you eaten anything today?
Yes,
What have you eaten today?
meat.
Meat?
Yes.
Okay. Well, what kind of meat? Steak,
I don't
chicken,
know. Maybe a steak.
steak? Okay, okay. Cool. Well, thank you for coming to the class. You guys came a little late, but did you do the homework?
Yes,
You did the how many sentences? Four, six,
Five?
five.
five? Okay. Well, Jackie, can you share yours first, please?
Okay, the last month I was taking online classes, then I had to do exams, and this day I hadn't paid attention, so I decided to do the test by chance. And guess what? I had taken a good score.
All right, very good, very good. I like it. Good examples. And Andres?
Um, the first one, I had studied French before I studied English. I didn't do exercise it because I had been sick. I had watched the what? I had watched the news in the TV before I watched in the Facebook. I didn't do the exam it because I hadn't had internet. I didn't eat tacos it because I had been in quarantine.
Oh, okay, very nice, very nice. I I felt the one with the tacos.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Jackie, and thank you Andres for doing your homework. Um, well, you know, I have something that I want to share with you guys. It's about, it's an interesting thing that I learned today. It's called shadowing. Okay, I wrote it in the chat. It's called shadowing. Okay, and shadowing is a speaking technique. You know, for people who don't have a partner or anybody to practice with. Obviously, the best way to practice your speaking is to speak with other people. That is the best way possible. But what happens when you don't have anybody to speak with? Well, the best method to practice your speaking is called the shadowing technique. Okay, so this technique is pretty simple. Okay, the concept is simple. You go on the internet, maybe YouTube or a podcast or anything like that, maybe a movie, and you have to say what the person is saying at the same time that they say it. Okay, it's normally like in the class, you listen and then repeat. Now in this one, you speak.
Aeromar ya se retiró, señora. Sí, yes, sir.
Okay, you speak at the same time as the person that is speaking. So let's say that you go on YouTube and you look for a TED Talk.
I'm sorry.
Okay? Don't worry, don't worry. On the TED Talk, the person is speaking to the crowd. Okay. The first time, what you need to do is, listen to the TED Talk completely. You know, listen for the accent, for the pronunciation, the speed. Is it a fast speaker or a slow speaker? Obviously, I recommend the slow speaker for the beginning. Okay, and now that you heard it one time, you learned the accent, you learned the speed, his style of speaking. Then you watch it again, but this time you speak at the same time that the person is speaking. Okay? It sounds difficult. How can I do it? How can I speak at the same time with this person if I don't have it memorized? Well, you're not speaking exactly at the same time. For example, if they read one sentence, you try to read that sentence. All right? Let me give you an example. Okay, so this TED Talk right here with Bill Gates. Bill Gates is speaking. See, I like Bill Gates because I know his style of speaking. I would read this. When I was a kid, the disaster we were worried about most was a nuclear war. That's why we had a barrel like this down in our basement. You know, I read and I speak at the same time that he speaks. Okay? I don't listen and repeat. I read as he speaks. Obviously, you can guide yourself with the subtitles, but the important thing is to mimic their pronunciation and mimic their style of speaking. Obviously, you're not going to listen to somebody who is not native. You need to listen to somebody who's a native speaker. A real first language is English. All right, and that is the shadowing method. We're probably going to practice this later, sometime whenever we have time. Right now we're kind of busy because we have an exam next week, but yeah, it's a good strategy. I hope that you can implement this at night with your favorite musician, your favorite actor, whatever, favorite movie. But the thing is to shadow. Shadow, remember, shadow is sombra, right? You are like the sombra, the shadow for them. All right? Well, without further ado, let's begin with the lesson. All right. Andres and Jackie, please go to page 55 in your student book. What color am I going to use today? Red. No, I always use red. Don't give me something green. Okay, today is June 17, 2020. The objective for today is to practice and produce the past perfect and to talk about coincidences. I am Fernando. We are on page 55, and this is Touchstone 4, Unit 6, Lesson A. All right. So Jackie and Ismael, why do we use the past perfect? I gave you two reasons yesterday. Why do we use the past perfect?
What teacher? Sorry.
Why do we use the past perfect?
To give a reason why something did or didn't happen.
Huh? To give a reason or to give an explanation, right? To give a reason, explanation of why something did or didn't happen. Okay. And what is the other reason, Jackie?
You say a coincidence?
Before that, no. Be more specific. What is the other reason to use the past perfect?
I didn't understand. I don't remember.
I gave you two reasons yesterday why we use the past perfect.
Yes, yes, yes.
Um, well, I'll tell you the other one then. The other one is to talk about the earlier of two past events. Okay? The earlier of two past events. So it's kind of like putting the things in order, you know? I had brushed my teeth before I ate breakfast. First, I brushed my teeth, then I ate breakfast. This is the earlier event because it happened first. First, second. The first event is the past perfect. It uses the past perfect. Okay. Now, let me reiterate. This grammar is not very common in English, but it is very common in your exams. Cambridge, TOEFL, San Diego University, anything, any of those proficiency exams, they have this. So we need to master it. And if you can implement it in your daily vocabulary, then you're the best. Let's begin. I had set up camp and was cooking, and this van appeared out of nowhere. Okay, let's practice the shadowing method. Let's practice the shadowing method or the shadowing technique. Okay? So I'm going to read it one more time. You know, listen to my accent, listen to my speed and my intonation. And then the second time you're going to read it with me. Okay? So I had set up camp and was cooking, and this van appeared out of nowhere. All right? You ready? On 3. 1, 2, 3. I had set up camp and was cooking, and this van appeared out of nowhere. Okay. I don't know if you were reading. Did you read it?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. It's good. It's good if you have the audio off because if all of us read it together, we're going to confuse each other. So it's okay. Keep your audio off. All right. The next one. I had just met my husband-to-be, and he was showing me photos when the phone rang. Hold on, one more time. I had just met my husband-to-be, and he was showing me photos when the phone rang. Okay, on 3. 1, 2, 3. I had just met my husband-to-be, and he was showing me photos when the phone rang. Okay. Now, those two sentences are to talk about the before an event in the past or the earlier of two events. For example, in my first sentence, I had set up camp and was cooking. That's the first event. Okay, yes, it's two events, but they are happening at the same time. I had set up camp and was cooking. Okay, so he's putting up the tent, he's making the fire, he's cooking. It's happening at the same period of time. And then there's another event. And this van appeared out of nowhere. So out of these two events, which one happened first? He set up camp or the van appeared out of nowhere?
I had set up camp.
That one happened first. That is the earlier event. Yes. All right, next one. Listen. I'm going to say it 2 times. Listen to the speed and listen to the things that I say. It was nice to have company because I hadn't spoken to anyone in days. One more time. It was nice to have company because I hadn't spoken to anyone in days. On 3. 1, 2, 3. It was nice to have company because I hadn't spoken to anyone in days. All right. If you notice, these right here, I don't say to, I say t. It was nice to have company because I hadn't spoken to anyone in days. Okay. Now, I'm going to say it one more time. Read it with me. Okay. It was nice to have company because I hadn't spoken to anyone in days. All right. Little things like that, like not saying to instead of t, is the things you need to listen for when you practice this method or this technique. Don't read it how it looks. Read it how they say it. Okay. Because many languages, they have connected words. They have connected words or they have short words. For example, to, when you are speaking naturally, you don't say to, you say t or t. Okay, it was nice to have. I hadn't spoken to anyone. T, t. Only the t sound. All right, let's see the next sentence. If I am going too fast, tell me. Next sentence. Jerry was a college friend that he hadn't spoken in. One more time. Jerry was a college friend that he hadn't seen in years. He'd moved to Spain. Jerry was a college friend that he hadn't seen in years. He'd moved to Spain. Okay. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Jerry was a college friend that he hadn't seen in years. He'd moved to Spain. Again. Jerry was a college friend that he hadn't seen in years. He'd moved to Spain. All right. So in these two sentences, they're given an explanation, okay, or a reason why something happened. Why hadn't he seen his friend in years? Why hadn't he seen his friend in years?
He moved into Spain.
Yeah, because he moved to Spain, exactly. Okay, if you notice, it says he'd. He'd. He had can be contracted to he. Okay, same thing with she. She had she. We had we. They had they. Right. I had I. Right. And it's very common. Very common. And whenever you are saying it, don't exaggerate. Don't say he'd moved to Spain. Don't say he'd moved to Spain. It's very fast and soft. He'd moved. He'd moved.
Sure.
He'd moved to Spain. Yes, sir.
It's like it's more use hit in um, the normal situation, or he
Yeah,
had.
for the contractions, yes. All right, so look, you're at a good level now, man. Usually contractions are normal. Contractions are for normal conversations. But if you want to sound elegant, very formal, you don't use contractions. All right. If you listen to a speech, they're not going to use contractions because they want to sound formal. They want to sound elegant.
So it's elegant when you use the contraction, or it's
Oh,
not elegant. It's not.
it's
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 more
nor
casual.
it's normal when you use the contraction.
It's normal. Okay.
Yeah, but it's elegant if you separate the
So
words.
in a normal conversation, the American people use the contractions.
Yes, yes. If I am with my friends, I can say I'm Mexican, man. Shut up. I'm Mexican, man. But if I am giving a speech and I am in front of 1,000 people, I am Mexican and I love my country. I will separate all of the words so I can sound clear
No.
and I can sound formal.
Okay.
So yes, that is something that we tell the advanced students, so you can know. And well, the questions with the past perfect are the same as the present perfect. In the present perfect, you say, have you seen the rain? Or has he seen the rain? Okay. The only thing is that in the past perfect, we're going to replace have and has for had. Had you seen the rain? Had he seen the rain? Okay. Had only. The past perfect. And the verb that we use with the past perfect is had and the past participle. Okay, not the simple past or the present verb. We use the past participle. Okay. Well, let's begin. 2A. Jackie, could you read the instructions, please?
Complete the stories with either the simple past or past perfect, sometimes both are possible, then practice with a partner.
Okay. So this exercise, I hate it. I honestly hate this exercise. Um, so this is what I am going to do for you. Nobody gets this exercise correct. Not even the teachers. Nobody, because this activity is too personal. The person who wrote it about themselves. And when you tell a story, you can say it however you want to say it, right? But maybe your strategy to tell a story is different from the other person's strategy. So I'm going to help you with this. I'm going to help you with this. Let me find my answers because I don't know them either. Okay. In the instructions it says to use either the simple past or the past perfect. Well, I already put all of the answers with the simple past. What I want you to do is just complete the story with the past perfect. Okay? So copy these and then the rest just put the past perfect. Okay? Good?
I don't understand, teacher. Sorry.
Okay.
Only copy the answer.
Copy these right here. Yes.
Okay.
Whenever you finish copying these, tell me. Jackie, you copied these already?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. So now you have those. You have the simple past. For the other blanks, for here, 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 etc., complete those with the past perfect. Okay? Complete the rest with the past perfect. Got it?
Yes.
All right. Let me know when you're finished, please. I'm gonna pause the video. All right. So, Jackie, you are A, Andres B.
Have you ever been talking about someone and then they called you?
Yeah, that happens to me a lot. In fact, last week I was thinking about a friend who I who I hadn't called in age. I think I had threw away. Thrown? Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Thrown. Yes, thrown. His phone number by accident, and we hadn't been in touch for months. Anyway, he called me out of the blue. It turned out that he had lost my number too, but then he had found it. He had found it.
Excellent. All right. Andres 2A, Jackie 2B.
Have you ever run into someone you were thinking about?
No, I haven't, but I expect other coincidence. For example, one time a friend of mine called me because she had left her purse on the subway. She didn't know what to do, and right then my sister came home with a purse that she had found on the subway. I guess what? It was my friend's purse.
Ah, what a coincidence. All right, 3A, Andres, 3B, Jackie.
I,
Yes, please.
oh, have you ever met anyone with the same birthday as you?
Yes, my friend Tom. The funny thing is, last year I decided to buy him something special because he had helped me fix my car many times. Him sometimes special. No. So I got him this camera that we had seen. We were out shopping the week before. When we opened our present, we laughed. We had bought each other exactly the same thing.
Very good, very good. All right. So now I want you to, let's see, take take notes for each question. Okay. You know, there are 3 questions in that exercise. Have you ever been talking about someone and then they called you? Have you ever run into someone you knew you were thinking about? And have you ever met anyone with the same birthday as you? Okay. I want you to, you know, write your answers, write some notes. Maybe something didn't happen to you, but it happened to another person. And if nothing ever happened, then I want you to invent or make up a story. Okay? Invent a story. Okay? So you have, let's say, 6 minutes. Okay? 2 minutes for number one, 2 minutes for number two, 2 minutes for number three. I don't want you to write your complete answer. Okay? I just want you to take little notes, you know, so when you practice the conversation, you can have like a guide. But I don't want you to read directly from your paper. Okay, so just take little notes. Be quick, okay? Because after that, you two will practice together. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So please write notes for each question. I will also write notes, and then we're going to share. All right.
Okay.
So let's say somebody asked me the question, Fernando, have you ever been talking about someone and then they called you? Well, not necessarily talking about someone, but I remember one day I was thinking about my friend. I was in La Gran Plaza and I was thinking about my friend because I hadn't talked to him in 3 weeks. He's my best friend. He lives in the United States. And so, you know, I was shopping and I went to buy some food. And while I was eating, he called me. You know, it was crazy because I was thinking about him the whole time in the mall. And then suddenly he called me. Sometimes I feel like we have some type of connection with the people that are close to us, you know, like your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your parents, or your best friends. I feel like somehow you have some type of connection with your brains. It's interesting. Well, number 2, Fernando, have you ever run into someone you were thinking about? Well, in high school, there was this there was this pretty girl that I really liked, but you know, we didn't have the same classes. My classes were on one side of the building, and her classes were on the other side of the building. Okay, but one day I had left my class early, and I was walking around the school, and I was thinking about this pretty girl. I was like, man, I wish I could see this pretty girl. I could see this pretty girl. And then she comes out of her class. I didn't know that was her class. I didn't know anything about this girl, but all I know is that I seen her. She was my crush. And I see her, I was like, hey. I was like, hey, what's your name? And then I started talking to her. Oh, and I got her number. And then 1 month later, she was my girlfriend. It was very interesting. But then it was a toxic relationship. So I broke up with her. And number 3, Fernando, have you ever met anyone with the same birthday as you? Yes, I met the person on Twitter. Her name was Asia, like the country, well, the continent. Continent? Yeah, the continent, Asia. My birthday is November 5th. Her birthday is November 5th. I had never, met anyone with the same birthday as me, but that day it was my birthday, and she said, "Hey, happy birthday to you. We have the same birthday. You're my birthday twin. My birthday twin." Like, oh, that's cool. That's cool. Happy birthday to you too. And then the next year, the year after that, we had a birthday dinner together. So her and her best friends and my best friends, we went to a restaurant together and we celebrated our birthdays. It was very cool. We had a long table. I was on one corner and she was on the other corner, and all of our friends were there. And we ate chicken wings. I love chicken wings. So, yep, that is my answers to 3 questions. All right. Andres, Jackie, I want you to ask each other the questions. Okay? You can say, how about you? Or one person asks all the questions and answers. Okay? But please begin.
Okay, Jackie, you do the question first, or me?
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 Have you ever?
Okay.
What? I can't hear you,
Yes, it's okay. Go ahead.
Andres.
Yes, go
Okay,
ahead.
okay, okay. Have you ever been talking about someone and then they call you?
Yes, that happens sometimes with my friends, boys and girls. Um, Sometimes when I had spoken about a friend, and after I receive a call or a WhatsApp.
Okay, okay.
You have you ever been talking about someone and then they called you?
Well, I was talking about my friend and then she had sent a message.
Okay.
Have you ever run into someone you were thinking about?
Teacher,
Yes?
um, ever run is what is like what? Like
Um, e-
thinking about in someone?
no, ever run into is meet. It's the same thing as meet, but nobody says meet. do you meet your friends? No, do you run into your friends? Run into is when you meet a person on accident, you know.
Okay.
You see the person, but on accident. It was not planned.
Okay. No, I haven't. But sometimes a friend told me that she had dreamed with me, and I thought one day before.
Two dreams.
Teacher, dream is a verb?
Is it what?
Is a verb, dream?
It can be a verb or a noun, yeah.
Okay. And you, Jackie Chan, have you ever run into someone you were thinking about?
Maybe some teachers that I was waiting for some words. Have you ever met anyone with the same birthday as you?
Yes, I have my friend, a friend in university. Her birthday is the same day that mine. And one day I had wanted a party, and she told me if we can had a party, and we did.
Oh,
And you, have you ever met anyone with the same birthday? And you,
no,
have
I've
you?
never met someone.
No? Oh my God. Okay, that's it. Sure.
Jackie, when is your birthday?
On March 10th,
Not even on your social networks, like on Facebook, on
no.
Instagram, Twitter, nothing.
In March, yes, but March 10th, no.
Maybe you need to go to Asia.
In these movies of Jackie Chan,
Yeah,
of Chan's movie.
just kidding, Beck. All right. So, look, this is what we're going to do now. We're going to do this little activity for the last 8 minutes, approximately. I like this activity because it is kind of personal. Okay. The name of this activity is called Time Flies. Have you ever heard of that expression? Time flies?
No.
No.
No? Time flies is an expression that many people use when, you know, the time goes by fast. You know, maybe you leave your city for 2 or 3 years, and when you return, you see your cousin is a big boy now. You say, wow, time flies. You know, time goes by fast. Or maybe you haven't seen your friend in a long time, and now they have a business, they are married, they have a beautiful family. Like, wow, time flies. I remember you. You were crazy in college, but time flies. You matured. Or, um, you know, any situation where you are surprised at the result that time has had. You can say, wow, time flies. Time flies. When you're remembering about your younger days, wow, time flies. You know, time goes by fast. And let me explain the activity. Time flies. Okay, so I'm gonna put some expressions right here. Yesterday, yesterday, last weekend, last weekend, last week, last month, last year, and one more. In 2010. Okay. Now these are time expressions. You know, I want you to think about things that happen around these times. You're going to make sentences. My space button. Okay. So remember we use already for things that happen. Okay, for things that happen. We use yet for things that didn't happen. Already, things that happen, yet things that didn't happen. Let me show you an example. Yesterday, I had already taught teachers. Okay, something that happened before yesterday, well, I had already taught teachers. Okay, easy, piece of cake. But I can also say yesterday, I hadn't taught the teachers mixed conditionals yet. Okay, so we're going to express or write events that did happen and didn't happen before that time, before yesterday, before last weekend, before last month. It can be something that happened recently, or it can be something that happened way before that time. All right. Another example. In 2010, I had already finished high school. Oh, sorry, no, elementary school. In 2010, I hadn't finished middle school yet. I hadn't finished middle school yet. So we're talking about things I did do and things I didn't do before that time. Okay? Well, I want you to choose two expressions and write one sentence for each expression. Okay? Two expressions, one sentence. So 2 sentences in total.
For now?
Yes. Yes, we have time. Well, if you do it in 1 minute, yes. It's so hot today in this uniform, and I don't have air conditioning. Andres?
Yes, teacher. I have a lot of noise. Sorry, but I will try.
Okay.
And last year, I had already on vacation in this time.
Okay.
Last year, in this month, I hadn't been on quarantine yet.
Oh, very good, very good. Okay.
In two, 2010, I had already left the soccer. And 2010, I had finished my college, my, how do you say, no, how do you say secundaria, teacher? Elementary? No,
You hadn't finished elementary yet in 2010?
yes,
Really?
yes.
Okay.
I think, I'm not sure.
All right, all right. Well, the grammar
Only
you are
for,
using is correct.
okay.
The grammar you're using is correct. Very good. Thank you, Andres. And Jackie? Just 2 sentences, Jackie.
Last month, I had already learned how to drive a car. The last month, I had learned how to ride a bike jet.
Excellent, excellent. You don't know how to ride a bike, right?
No.
Okay. Well, look, for your homework, I am going to leave you page 42 and 43. All right, 42 and 43. How do you feel this grammar with this past perfect? Do you think it's easy or what? It's
Yes.
okay, right? It's not that bad. Okay, remember what I said. You know, it's not common in English, but it is formal. It's going to come on your tests, and practice the shadowing method if you have time. Okay. Well, that is all for today, folks. I will see you tomorrow. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, teacher.
See you. Have a nice evening.